9 hikers vanished. Their tent was ripped from within. It was supposed to be an adventure, a test of endurance, courage, and spirit. In January 1959, 10 young Soviets set out into the frozen Ural Mountains. They were experienced hikers, students from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, full of energy, ambition, and that unshakable belief in their own resilience. But what began as a routine expedition would end in one of the most chilling and enduring mysteries of the 20th century. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. And it all starts here, in the deep shadows of the Urals. Igor Dyatlov was just 23 years old when he led the group. A smart engineering student, serious, respected, methodical. He handpicked his team carefully. 8 other students joined him, all young, bright, and athletic. And one older man, Semyon Zolotaryov, a war veteran in his late 30s. He didn't really know the others, but he had experience. And in the Soviet Union, experience counted for a lot. They were going for their Grade 3 hiking certification, the toughest level there was. The plan was simple on paper. Head into the northern Ural Mountains, reach Mount Otorten, then return. It would be cold, rough, and dangerous, but they were ready, or at least they thought they were. On January 25th, they took a train to Ivdel, then hitched a truck ride to Vijay. The last village before the wilderness swallowed them whole. Spirits were high. They took photos, played music, laughed, wrote in diaries. These weren't kids playing explorer. They were serious hikers. They knew what they were doing. But things changed on January 28th. One of the hikers, Yuri Yudin, started feeling sick. His sciatica flared up. With a heavy heart, he turned back. It probably saved his life. He said goodbye, assuming they'd all reunite in a few weeks. The remaining 9 pushed forward. As they climbed higher into the Urals, the weather turned. Snow, wind, freezing temperatures. But still, they made progress. They kept a group diary. Funny little notes, jokes, even songs. They were cold, but they were together. They trusted each other. On February 1st, they set up camp on the slope of Kholat Shachel. The name means Mountain of the Dead in the local Mansi language. Spooky, sure, but to them, it was just another challenge. The spot they chose for the tent was unusual, though. Exposed, sloped. Some say they misjudged the terrain. Others think they were training for a worst-case scenario. Either way, that's where they made their last stand. Because that night, something happened. When the group didn't check in by February 12th, nobody panicked at first. Delays on hikes were common, but days passed, then more. Finally, on February 20th, the university and the hikers' families demanded a search. Rescue teams were sent in. Volunteers, students, even soldiers. On February 26th, they found the tent. It had been ripped open from the inside. That's where the nightmare began. There were footprints, barefoot ones, some in socks, some in only one shoe, leading down the hill toward the forest. About a mile away, they found the first 2 bodies, Yuri Krivonishchenko and Georgy Doroshenko, both lying near a fire, wearing only their underwear. Their hands were burned as if they'd tried desperately to stay warm or protect themselves. Between the forest and the tent, they found 3 more, Igor Dyatlov himself, Rustam Slobodin, and Zina Kolmogorova, all frozen to death, scattered across the snow, positioned as if they were trying to crawl back to camp. At this point, it looked like a tragic story of panic and exposure, but it was only beginning. It took over 2 months to find the rest. They were buried under thick snow in a ravine farther into the woods, and what they found shocked even the investigators. Lyudmila Dubinina was missing her tongue. Her eyes were gone. Her chest had been crushed, with internal injuries similar to a car crash. Nikolai Thibault-Brignol had a fractured skull. Semyon Zolotaryov's ribs were shattered. His eyes were missing too. But here's the kicker. No one had external wounds that matched the internal damage. It was like they'd been hit by something powerful, but invisible. And the questions kept piling up. The tent was slashed from the inside. Why? Why would experienced hikers run barefoot into the snow in the dead of night? What caused such extreme injuries without leaving a single bruise on the skin? Then there was the radiation. Some of the hikers' clothes were contaminated. Not dangerously high levels, but enough to raise eyebrows. Add that to rumors of strange orange lights in the sky that night, and things started to spiral. The official investigation, it called the cause of death a compelling natural force. That's it. No real answers, no real explanation, just 9 dead hikers, classified reports, and a mountain of rumors. Over time, the theories multiplied. An avalanche? It would explain the panic, but not the missing eyes or the internal trauma. A military cover-up? Some say they stumbled onto a weapons test or secret ops. A Yeti? That theory's been stretched thin, but it still floats around. Others think it was something paranormal, something not human, or maybe something too human and too secret to ever be revealed. Yuri Yudin, the only one who turned back, spent the rest of his life searching for answers. He never found them. Before he died in 2013, he said he believed the military knew more than they let on. Today, the site is known as Dyatlov Pass. A stone memorial sits there, buried under the same snow that swallowed the truth. The hikers were buried with honors, but no justice. Their families still wonder, their friends still ache, and the mystery still lingers like a ghost in the frost. Something happened on that mountain in 1959. Something terrifying enough to make 9 people run barefoot into the dark. Something powerful enough to crush bones without breaking skin. Something no one has been able to fully explain then or now. And all we have are questions frozen in time. In part 2, we'll dig deeper into the investigation, the theories, the cover-ups, and the chilling legacy of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. Because some stories refuse to stay buried in the snow.